Fords.
Where the fuck is it? Hang out Toolbox. There you are, bitch. But it's like not opening. What the fuck? That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah, it's broke as fuck on my screen. Huh?
Wait, what's up?
The toolbox thing's broke on mine.
Oh. That could be why it maybe isn't working on mine either then. Uh-oh.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that.
There's always that.
Finger over there.
Yep. We don't need a timer for this one.
Yeah.
Fucking Zoom.
I don't know if that's necessarily a better thing or not.
That's
the
the danger part of it.
Danger zone.
Unless you feel like charging us $14.99 to keep going, and then that'll be an easy cutoff.
That's actually that should be the name of the episode. Is $14.95 funny?
Yeah. Or not quite $14.99.
$12.99 funny. $9.99 funny.
Bargain bin funny.
What's one more point? Right.
3 movies for $10 funny.
For me, it's I have to pay people to fucking laugh.
Oh. I'm sure there are people who have that a lot worse.
Like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. I've had better. I've had better.
I've had better. Yeah, it's mine. Yeah, this toolbox is not working. Fuck. All right, whatever. All right, well, Eva, no lower third.
I do applaud Zoom's boldness for being like, you're not going to pay? All right, goodbye.
Welcome to that corporate American taking over country.
You on our servers, you non-payers.
Listen,
We're slightly
please.
concerned that it wouldn't fucking save. What's having smile time flashbacks?
Oh shit. Oh man. Might as well just Facebook Live while we're at it.
Yeah. I've already shared a link for this over. This part of it's live, whereas the other part wasn't. So that's a bit fucking weird.
So they don't know like what we're bitching about. That's great. It's just our usual shit.
You have to fucking watch the video when it gets uploaded to work out what the fuck we were talking about.
Which you can find behind the Patreon wall for a $2 tier donation. That's what we're going to start looking at, guys. This is the world of non-FCC regulated. So, hey, do you like breathing air? Because that shit's going to cost money soon. Just saying, be ready for it. It doesn't hurt as much if you're ready for it. It's when you get caught off guard that you're like, fuck, really?
It hurts me more when I'm ready for it, because then I have anxiety over waiting for it.
You anticipate. Yeah, I hear you.
So what was another topic, Drew?
Another topic was if you were to relaunch your show, bearing in mind the audience you now have and their appetite for shenanigans, but shenanigans is spelt wrong because the person's obviously a fucking moron.
Might be Farva.
Yeah.
You mean the shenanigans? You're talking about shenanigans, right? I swear to God, I'm going to pistol whip the next guy who says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, name the place of the mozzarella steak on the wall you like.
Oh, you mean shenanigans? You guys are talking about shenanigans, right? And then I totally think the movie Waiting is a response to that because that's the restaurant they all work at in Waiting, right? It's shenanigans.
You're right. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm good for a couple of those a week right there. A little like, hey, by the way, did you notice this shit? Everything's a shared universe, bitches. Was the movie released? All right, it's part of the movies universe now. Congratulations.
Would you give your show a fucked up name, and would you talk about fucked up stuff to garner what the fuck? I'm guessing that's supposed to be controversial but it's spelt so fucking weird. It's unreal.
This is the D-bag who was giving you shit during the week because that episode played on Mile High, right? That's got to be who this is, right?
It's got to be some fucking arsehole because it says anonymous.
Yeah.
I would actually change the name of my show to Go Cunt Yourself.
Wait, so what's the entire question here? Would you change the name of your show if you were going to tackle controversial topics?
Knowing your audience now that you have garnered since you've been in business.
Okay. I got you.
I like that if you called it Go Cunt Yourself as part of your trying to help serve your audience, you could have the Cunt Yourself generator and it could make pictures of you cunted somehow, whatever cunting actually turns out to mean verb wise. And then you could have as part of your Go Cunt Yourself show is the Go Cunt Yourself app, which in addition to downloading your episodes could cunt all of your friends if you wanted to cunt them as well. We have to just define what cunting is.
I would interview people like Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, hey man, I'm sure he's gonna charge. He charges so much for an autograph. He's gonna charge.
But he needs the money. He blatantly probably touched folk up on the set of Hercules. Let's be honest.
Whoa. Allegedly. Always allegedly. We heard from an anonymous source.
So would either of you change the way your show is or change the name of your show now that it's established?
Probably not. I mean, we pride ourselves on talking about whatever we want every episode, whether main topics, movies, music, and sports. But I mean, I wouldn't rebrand a show just to talk about something controversial. I think that's a cop-out.
Yeah, it's a little less integrity than especially if you're a catch-all, and I kind of, when Hollow 9 was just one show, the fact that it was called Hollow 9 was supposed to do exactly that too, is I don't have to be defined by the title. And that's why I always thought, one of the things that, obviously I carried this over into the model of what Hollow 9 is now, but one of the things that the shop I had been with previously did was every time we started a new show, it got its own RSS feed and its own page, which I understood because it was specifically about one TV show or one genre of film or whatever. So one of the things that Hollow 9 discovered in its first year is that this mega feed concept doesn't really work if you don't have separated feeds like that. But I used to never think of wanting to pigeonhole myself into just talking about the same thing all the time. Right. But we had mixed success with both. There were some shows that the dedicated topic would get 3,000 downloads a week, and I was like, well, fuck, I can't shake a stick at that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's right. So you can just add this feed to the Hollow 9, the controversial show, and just add it to your network.
Yeah, that's what we do now. Now we just fucking always.
I've heard feedback from us there's so for sports, that's a very specific. It's a big fan base, but it's a very specific fan base. So if you listen to us talk about movies, you probably won't listen to us talk about sports. So I can absolutely see where splitting it up goes, but I don't know. We're just not there yet.
Unless you wanted to build sports as a segment that you would have a separate bumper package for. That's the other thing too. For me particularly, I don't know about there was a different group of guys who were sort of working with me in the first iteration of Hollow 9 back in 2006. I don't know how they saw it as much, but I always like to look at us like fucking UHF, Weird Al Yankovic and his friends sitting there going, all right, and we're going to do Gandhi the librarian, and we're going to do, this shit. And it's just yeah, man, fuck it. Let's do everything. Let's not be defined. And let's have, though, these little things that separate it. I think it's probably why Tangent City is structured the way it is for the most part, is you have these little bumpers that, okay, that thing ended and now another thing's starting. And so if you guys wanted to be known for having these conversations that start out about whatever movie you watched recently, but hey, you love watching football and football seasons, and hey, we have the ranting and raving sports segment, and you have a little bumper breakdown, a little intro, some sound effects of crowds cheering and shit, and then you guys come in and do your sports thing. To me, that's the beauty part.
I don't think we're talented or restrained enough to not just jump into whatever topic comes up.
Well, it would. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I would do a show where I just listen to someone else's show. That'd be it. That's the premise. I just sit there and I'm
loop in somebody else's show, and it's just me watching it, being so that's my show.
See you next week.
It's just your facial expressions responding to everything you hear.
Sitting by a fire, sipping a nice bourbon, just listening to somebody else's show, and then that's it.
And the best thing is, it's not video; it's just audio.
Nice, nice. Now, would you tell the other people's show you're doing this, or would you just try to let that fly under the radar until somebody let them know of their own accord?
Maybe 5 minutes before I do it.
Or you could call the show, "Let's see if I get sued," and you just put it on the show and claim it as yours, and see what happens.
Yeah. Interesting observations.
Could be somebody who speaks perfect English, and then you come on at the end and be like, "That was my show. What do you mean it wasn't my voice?" Like,
not even speaking in correct sentence structure either. It has to be that like broken, like old 80s movie bad guy Eastern European sounding voices.
Someone said,
I hate what America stands for.
Are you Russian, Scottish? Where are we landing on this? It's like you're kind of jumping around. You're like a voice on t-shirt.
Russian is the go-to, right? We don't want to offend anybody, so we're just going to go Russian.
Except for Russian, we don't give a fuck if we insult Russia. Russia can suck.
They don't. I'm a rogue agent. I just want to destroy America with submarine.
I don't know why. I just don't like you. I was raised not to like you, and I don't like you. Suck a fucking dick. You're like,
I am a Russian, but I'm played by Sean Connery, so I just fucking sound like this.
How dare you question my Russian heritage? Just because I'm a Highlander, you motherfucker.
Run for the Red October, Blue November.
I was raised near the lake like this in Vilnius. And you're like, what? You're talking to Alec Baldwin, man.
I would love to see Sean Connery come back and just do a horrible sequel as his big comeback film.
The second Hunt for Red October.
I'd like to see him come back and do The Honeymooners.
Except he's Alice, and that's where
No, except he doesn't say all the way to the moon, he just fucking hits her.
One of these days.
No warning. No warning. Just out of nowhere. Bam. The Sean Connery special. There's a video. I've seen the footage.
On screen. Where has he been?
I've seen the footage of him in that interview where he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I should be able to hit a woman if she's acting out of line." You're just like,
out of line. And then he's trying to get who was it? Was that Barbara Walters?
Yeah, I think so. Because she was like, "What?"
Trying to get her to agree. He's like,
"Don't you think so? Don't you think I should be able to hit you?"
All right, wouldn't you want to get hit? Get back in line. And she's just like, the look on her face. Like seriously, it's on YouTube. Go back and watch. The look on her face is like, I can't believe this is so big right now. This is happening. I just got
this is actually real.
I can't believe it. How do I respond?
Also, like, I don't even give a fuck that I've said it. Look on his face.
Yeah. And what was that? Was that the 90s?
Yeah.
90s Connery?
I thought he was too young. That had to be more like, 80s or late 70s Connery. I think he had still dark hair in that shit.
He looked old and he looked he looked suave. Like he looked like Clooney looks now.
Yeah, I think he had his shirt open like halfway. Like he was expecting to get a blowjob at the end of this.
Trying to hit Barbara Walters.
As soon as the camera's off, I was like, "Oh, knock it on your fucking knees." It was just like you could see it. It was in his eyes. He thought she was gonna get wet from that slapping remark. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got you going, didn't I?" You're like, no, you did not.
Do you think ego's so big he ever realized that was a huge misstep?
No, I just think he was from a part of Scotland where that was normal.
Yeah, apparently when I posted about watching Trainspotting, Greg was like, "Oh yeah, I could take you there if you want." I'm like, nope, that's okay. I think I'm good with just watching the movie. I think that part's out. I mean, I don't know, Drew. If that's near you, I'll definitely come and have a drink with you. But I don't know if I want to stay at the hotel from that movie.
Yeah, there's parts of Glasgow where that would be like tame compared to what goes on.
Oh my god. Oh man. Wow. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, Greg knows all the best places to get meth and heroin.
Oh.
One of his many talents.
Did not realize that was where that conversation was leading to. Okay, because they do seem to deal with that like in a 20 years later kind of way in that sequel movie. You know, it's sort of like, oh yeah, we've all been clean for like 2 decades. It's like, oh no shit, cool. All right, are you gonna get back on heroin for the movie? Maybe, maybe not. You know, like, oh, all right, I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, it was definitely interesting idea to go check out some of those places. That one, especially, I actually wanted to ask you about the some of the imagery there. With there's sort of like this one spot where they just keep dropping all these dead cars, and there are all these areas, these neighborhoods where they're just leveling all the buildings, like it's just been sort of run down to the point where everybody's gone. And like what's up with that? Because obviously, you know, Danny Boyle doesn't shy away from shooting the shit that's really going on. And shooting in real locations. So I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to have to ask Drew what's up with this, you know?
Yeah, it's a bit of Edinburgh that was basically a shite hole that they're knocking down, moving the riffraff out of, supposedly, and then building new houses that are going to be for folk that actually have money. Where the riffraff go, I don't know.
Sort of a gentrification situation.
Yeah.
Got it. Because it was sort of like, you know, like you would expect. You got the whole shithole look of it on the outside, but then Sick Boy opens the door to his apartment and it's like banging because he's got like an awesome TV and a stereo system and shit, and he dresses really nice. So it I equate that to that scene in Harold and Kumar Escape Guantanamo Bay when they run into that the hunter in the woods who's like, oh, why don't you come home with me? And they're walking up to this like shanty shack, and when they open the door, it's like a multi-million-dollar mansion from MTV Cribs on the inside, and you're like, whoa. I want that. That's when I think of moving out into the woods. I want that. I want to make that my cabin in the woods, and then fuck everybody. Enjoy the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, basically everything in Sick Boy's flat is going to be off the back of a lorry.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they showed the guy because Mikey Forrester is still in this movie too. So they show the fence that everybody that when Frank steals shit where he goes and sells it. So yeah, you imagine that Sick Boy's like right in that whole situation. I mean, you saw it or no?
Yeah, too. Saw it in the pictures.
I mean, I thought it was awesome. I don't know if you liked it or not. Like, is that movie and the first Trainspotting because of how kind of probably realistic they are? Is it make it difficult to watch at all, or not really?
No, it makes it funny.
Nice. It's probably how we feel about movies about New York and New Jersey. You know what I mean? We're just like, fuck you guys. I wonder what the people in Arizona think when they watch this shit. It's like, yeah, whatever. We're not the Jersey.
Going on vacation down south. It's like the Carolinas or something, and people being like, oh, New Jersey. Oh, actually, we just had this happen when we went to Vegas a couple months ago. We were driving, and the Uber driver was talking about the shooting that happened in Vegas and where he was at the time and stuff like that. And then he asked us where we're from. And I'm like, oh, you know, New Jersey. And he was like, oh, so you're used to the shooting.
I was going to say, right? He's like, oh, that's like old hat to you guys over there.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm not a soprano.
Yeah, we're not from Newark, motherfucker. I mean, come on, dude.
And then had people ask, like, if the Jersey Shore is like how everybody talks from there. And I'm like, do you hear me right now? Or
yeah. Jersey Shore was a big one. When I was podcasting with this group, they were based out of Chicago. Literally every single one of the people in the network, every friend I made from Chicago was like, oh, well, you Jersey Shore guys. I'm like, for fuck's sake. I'm going to tell you one last time. Those bitches come from Staten Island and stay down by us for the fucking summer. They don't live here. They don't rep here. They just take our shit and ruin it. That's what the fuck they are. And you fucking idiots watching that show, making them more popular, giving them more power. You're letting them come and fucking shit all over our boardwalks. Like, dudes, this place was legendary before they fucking ruined it. And that started my ex, who I had been engaged to. She had friends from college that had a house in Seaside Heights, and anytime we would go, especially we made the mistake of going Memorial Day weekend once, and it was over fucking run with the GTL crowd. You know what I mean? You're just like, God damn it. Literally, like, you didn't hear the traffic didn't stop all night. Like, it was just cars beeping, parking, people going from party to party, literally until the sun was coming up. So I was like, well, we're never coming back here. Like, this is it, so
I always went to LBI to avoid Seaside because of that show.
I used to not really like Seaside in the first place anyway. I was a Point Pleasant person, but that relationship, I basically just gave a lot of compromises out there. Probably won't be doing that shit again. So just heads up out there, ladies. Fuck Seaside. It's gonna be Point Pleasant or nothing. And I'm totally prepared to go Logan on this, so it's all good. Which is now on, by the way, so I have it in the background.
How did that only get nominated for best adapted screenplay? It's the only thing they got.
I think they're probably expecting to be able to say, "Hey, we nominated Get Out, so could you just chill the fuck out on all the comic book shit and whatever else we don't usually let in?" You know, like they're gonna pull that card of, "We're not being racist by saying this, but we're being really fucking racist by saying this."
Yeah. Heaven forbid you hate on Get Out or Lady Bird. You're fucking Mariah.
Yeah, it's a rough time in the post-truth America here, and slowly bleeding to the post-truth world, I guess. I mean, I think that's the only way. You know, it's funny. I feel like as we're now slowly becoming more like all these dystopian movies from the 80s and 90s, where it was clearly delineated who the good guys and bad guys were, but now that it's happening in real life, we can't seem to tell the difference. I always thought there has to be some kind of missing link in there. The way we have a missing link genetically to where we came from, there's got to be this missing moment where everybody literally just gave up on like, fuck it, let this happen. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're just gonna stop caring about facts. We're just gonna stop caring if things are true, and we're gonna pretend we don't believe the environment is changing, you know. And then when we find ourselves living in domes like on Mars, we'll be saying, how the fuck did we get here? You know, and that's kind of like what I feel like we're almost getting to now. So for us, you know, I think I like the fact that we all just say whatever the fuck we think and deal with it. But it does suck that you can't be like, are we going to have a legitimate conversation about not liking one of these? Because we've got reasons, you know. But if the conversation's already over, I'm not going to waste my time trying to restart it, you know.
Over before it starts. If it's going to offend anybody, you can't talk about it, which is not how you make progress in this country or any country for that matter.
I mean, we might as well look at stand-up comedians just going away then, right? Like that whole genre is going to have to disappear if that's the case.
Argument of like, if you're an actor and you portray a rapist in a movie, you know that actor's, well, hopefully not a rapist. But if a comedian makes a rape joke, their career's over, even though it's a joke. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, it's
like,
why
you don't have to like the joke. You don't have to like the comedian. You don't have to support him. Doesn't mean his career has to fucking end. It's a little bit harsh.
I mean, it's I love that it kind of even stretches over. We could Tarantino this. It's like, why is one level of performance easier to give passes to than another when they all are supposed to be coming from a place of, I'm putting forth a false front. You know this going into it. You're paying me to do it. It's part of the deal. We're escaping reality. The thing is, I think stand-up comedy is so close. I remember reading a story, maybe this had to be around 2008, 2009. It was an AM New York story about a comedian from Brooklyn whose family was trying to sue her for using like her childhood memories as part of her material, you know? And it's like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, at what point are we allowed to own our own experiences? You know what I mean? All right, if you need me to change names, fine, I guess we'll change names. But you can't tell me to not talk about something that happened to me. I mean, if that it's very much like in Better Call Saul. I can't use my own last name. Are you fucking joking? But that's the level of absurdity it gets to with some of this shit. It's tough to stomach.
New topic.
Yeah, where's the hat?
Who's the biggest fuckface you've ever interviewed?
Wow.
Define fuckface, I guess.
I'm guessing an arsehole.
I hate to see.
Well, yeah, I haven't interviewed anybody I didn't like on the show, but we are pretty new.
Fuck, that's quite good because I've been on your show.
Oh shit. Yeah, let me think about it. You know what? I didn't directly interview it, but I almost want to count this one because one of the 2 episodes of This Ain't My Show that made it to air was me, Ripka Cole, and for a minute at the beginning was this other guy whose name I actually don't even remember. But
say Yahoo Gorin.
You know who it is, right? Well, now this is gonna get awkward, but fuck, dude. Before we got started, it was like a moment of like, okay, we're ready to go. Like, okay, hey guys, can I just ask that we all keep it like super clean and not be profane and blah blah blah. And I was like, I mean, listen, dude, we usually go no holds barred. It's kind of the medium. This is my shop. I mean, if Chris wants us to be clean, I'll be clean, but I can't guarantee that in the heat of an impassioned comment, something might not come out. And it got really, really awkward, like instantly, because it was like, well, I mean, can you like promise that it won't? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just said I can't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Is this a very
sure, no fucking problem, you cunt? And see what
I was so close, man. I guess I was in the not wanting to really step on toes too hard.
You just said yes, and then just see what happens when somebody drops fuck or something like that. And
yeah,
I don't know if it was we weren't gonna cuss on the show.
Guys, we were live streaming that directly to my church. Like, well, that was dumb. Why the fuck did you do that? I did not sign off on being broadcast, so now I'm suing everybody.
Closet fans.
Like, you need to really get the fuck over this shit, man. Seriously. Can't believe. I mean, I guess I can believe, but god damn. So that I would say is the biggest dick I've ever interviewed. Like, because it was a simple 2-question exchange that went so wrong. I was like, yeah, all right. I hope this guy. And then luckily his camera crapped out and he was gone for most of the show. But that was also Smile Time. Maybe Smile Time stepped in to save the day.
Yeah, I don't know. We usually just have like friends on, people I'm friendly with, like you guys, and then reaching out to like bands I like or things like that. Like, I really haven't had anybody request to be on that I haven't liked. Like, we've had a few that I didn't particularly reach out to, but they weren't bad guests by any means. Nobody's really been bad on us.
Yeah, I'm like looking through the list on Spotlight, and it's not that I don't think anyone's ever really been a dick per se. I had one that was a straight up just a bad interview that it was like
why you didn't get answers from, or they like
listen to this.
I think we found our answer.
Chick prepared answers the night before, sent me a full document, like paragraph answers. Now, there was a little bit of a heated back and forth because I was working in the city and it was before my office was in the city. So I was having a lot of issues getting used to the commute, trying to figure out when I would be available to do things. And we had to push from a Friday night to a Saturday record. And she was trying to like say, no, we said tonight, this is absolutely happening tonight. And I'm like, okay, now I'm getting pissed because I'm giving you free exposure on my fucking network. And you're a supported, self-employed, struggling to get exposure model, and I don't really need to have to fucking deal with this bullshit. And then expert move in guilting, I will say, she sends me this document because I'd given her a couple questions that I was probably going to ask. I was like, look, it's like a softball thing. I just kind of throw some softballs in the air and then we see where it goes and we try to keep it an organic conversation. I don't like to have it be so rigid, but if you need questions, here's sort of some basic ones. I'm inspired by the fact that she wrote, like, these were really well thought out answers. I'm like, wow, this is kind of what I'm going for. It's like it's an in-depth profile piece like you would see in Rolling Stone or something. So we get on the fucking thing and I ask her the questions and she would stop like about one sentence into the answer or like halfway through the answer. And I would actually try to say like, well, isn't there anything more you want to say on that? Because I knew she had more. And she's like, no, I think that's okay. And I'm like, all right. And so it was just like a really weird half pulling teeth and not really getting anything. I felt like I kept repeating a lot of the questions and trying to not directly say, hey, I fucking know you have more to say. Say what you fucking sent me in that document. But and that was like super odd. And I knew that it was throwing me off the whole time. So I wound up even cutting it short a little bit. And at the end I said, so how do you think that went? And she goes, well, I didn't feel like I really got to say everything I wanted to say. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I didn't say fuck you, but my mind was like, you're dead to me. Like, that's it. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't even know how to respond to the ignorance of that statement. So fuck you. I tried. I felt bad for you after I started to realize who the fuck you are. And now I'm like, well, you know what? I gave as much charities as there is to give in Dave that day. And I leave it up. I have no shame. I don't take it down. It's still part of the catalog. Maybe one day it'll be a lost episode that winds up beyond a Patreon wall or some shit. But I'd almost feel bad charging for it, so probably not. But you know, I think it's to always show how much progress we've made from there. You know.
For me, there's been Duck Benedict,
Yeah, dude.
DMX.
You fucking
Yeah.
up, dog. Motherfucker.
When you-
I don't know what you
Death
do.
threats on air. That's quite fun.
Wait, what did he do?
He threatened to kill me on air.
Nice. Yo, Drew.
And I just repeated what
Wait,
he said
what was
back to him.
When was this? Because isn't he like super religious now? Isn't he?
Yeah, that's what he says he is. Until
Oh,
you get
and
on
then-
air and you start taking the piss out of his lyrics.
Oh shit.
That was hilarious.
He was like,
Fucking artist, please.
he was like,
Up in here. Up in
he said like, I'm going to fuck you up if we ever meet. And I was like, I'm going to fuck you up if we ever meet. Somebody said, I just kept doing it back to him.
Meanwhile, he's like a full foot shorter than you. I mean, like a full foot shorter than you. And you have MMA experience, like a lot of it. Like, a
Did you
lot
ask
of
him
it.
if him and the Rough Riders were going to come beat you up?
Nah, I asked him why. What was it? What really started it off with him hating me was I asked him what was with all the homophobic lyrics. I said most people that have a lot of homophobic lyrics in their songs, it's because they're actually in the closet themselves. And apparently, he didn't like that comment.
Well, he's also been to prison, and I always now just think of that scene in Training Day when they're like, "You ever have your shit pushed in?" When people tell me they've been in prison, I'm like, "Oh God, oh my God!" So DMX may be a very angry dog at this time in place, man. That could be a lot. Yeah,
Talking about angry dogs, I had
Rebirth.
Dog the Bounty Hunter on my show.
No
Uh,
shit.
oh no shit! I
He
walked
didn't like
past
me
him.
either.
I walked right past him in Vegas once. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Dog the Bounty Hunter."
Apparently, he doesn't like you making fun of his hair.
Yeah, and
That
it's hard not to stare out, dude. You just stare at it. You're like, that's fucking blonde, and that's like, look at me blonde. That's what the boxes says. Look at me blonde.
I think that was 2 years ago, and I made a joke about how him and Donald Trump go to the same barber, and it just went downhill from there.
Oh, damn. It's a low blow, bro. Even for MMA, that's a low blow.
You got to be able to take a joke, and that's like, if you're able to make fun of yourself, then you know the other people can't. So if you have a hair like that, or you're, you just got to be able to relax.
I also might have said he looks like what
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan would look like if he stopped taking steroids.
You know what? I'm not.
I'm
That's
picturing it.
accurate, though. That's accurate.
I'm picturing it. I'm like, I got you. I can, because he does almost look like a fake person. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't look like a real human being.
Do you think he takes steroids though? Allegedly, because his legs are like pencil thin, and then
Hogan?
torso and arms.
Or is that dog? You're talking about dog or
I'm talking about Hogan.
He did definitely in the 80s.
Oh,
I think all of them did.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Now I think he takes dick
Well, he
pills,
can
and
do
that's
whatever
probably
the fuck he
it.
wants because he won the Gawker suit.
Yeah.
He's a rich man now.
What a another fallen from grace childhood figure. You know what I mean? Like Jesus. There's nothing to hold on to.
No.
It's so fuck. Anyway. Do we have any more in the hat? Any
Yeah,
more topics?
we've got quite a few actually, which is the worry.
Are they coming in now because we're live? This is fucking awesome.
Um, oh,
DP4L, are you around? Is Donkey Punch here?
You're my quarterback.
the last thing he asked me was if we were ever going to do like a celebrity death match type situation with the people that have been on the Haver. Who I thought would be the first one that would get basically murdered.
Like of us, who would get killed?
Yeah.
Like if we were all in the ring together, like if they forced us to all go, I mean,
Yeah.
Drew would kill all of
Well, I
us.
think Drew would make me cry.
Yeah, Drew would beat the shit out of all of us. I mean, didn't you see that video he posted? The "Don't fuck with the TFAU" video at the very beginning of all the when he eliminated he did the Great Bot Massacre of September 2017. I was like, holy
UFC fight once where the guy danced around the outside of the ring until the ref called the match because he was avoiding punches too much. That would be me in a
straight up at a Karate Kid. You run out of the ring one more time, it's going to cost you a point. Be like, dude, can we just call it right now then? I'm fucking out. I'm staying out of the ring. Give it to him and I'm going home. Thank you.
I think it was UFC guy Big Country that was fighting
Yeah.
guy, and he was just dancing around for like 5 minutes, like an entire round. And the ref talked to him during commercial break, and then even after, he was like, all right, fuck it, he wins because you won't take a punch.
It's a good tactic though against Big Country because he's a fat guy, so Stamina's going to wear down chasing him.
Yeah, but he also doesn't have defense. He takes it and then tries to deal it back, so you could get in a lot.
I'd like to point out that the Haver season 1 had both Anthony Hayes and Scott Doucette on it, so my money would be on Scott Doucette getting fucked up quite early.
Wow.
A gang mentality, you might say.
Yeah.
It'd be like Diggstown. You ever see that movie where he had to survive fighting like 20 guys in a row or some shit like that? And just be like, if you make it through one, all right, the next one's just stepping right up, dude. Like, fuck it.
Sounds like DMX in prison.
Motherfuckers, I tell you what you gonna do. The cell block is what I'm walking through. And you're like, all right, man, just keep fucking going, dude. With your shit up in here. Like all the old guys in prison, just like look at him like, yeah, whatever, kid. Up in here. We got you.
Gonna make me lose my cherry. Oh my god.
Oh, God. Exit Wounds was a horrible movie.
You could make case in point that he is the reason Steven Seagal's such a piece of shit now.
It rubbed off.
His career.
It rubbed off.
What do you mean he's a piece of shit now? I think there's been a long.
Dude.
Wow.
But that's one. See, like that one. When I watch Hard to Kill, that's like maybe the only one that I watch, and I say, well, maybe Under Siege also. Like those two, I'm like, okay, I can watch these and just separate out Seagal. I can just enjoy these movies mostly because of the nostalgia factor of like watching them growing up. But everything else is just like, and we're gross, like, and fuck you.
It's like when you watch them back and you're like thinking, I remember back when I was a kid and I believed he could actually do any of this shit. And now, he's just, fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone that's watching this or listening to this, Aikido's bullshit, fake martial art. And anyone out there who's an Aikido specialist that wants to prove me wrong on that, fucking anytime.
Oh shit! Wow, it just got real live here on the Terra Haver Part 2.
I'm uncomfortable.
Previously on Terra Haver. Anytime, and then you got somebody else. All right, man. Anytime, I got you. And you're like, now we have the time arrived. It has begun tonight on the Haver.
Who is the woman that didn't turn her cam on the Haver? Can anyone remember that episode?
She didn't turn her camera on?
Yeah. I'm sure it was possibly me and Ripka and her, which probably explains why she didn't turn her camera on.
Oh, shit.
But
because there was no one to impress.
Yeah. I definitely was not on this because I would have remembered. The only one I remember was the guy with the Deadpool picture up instead the whole time, and we were just like,
what was with that cunt?
What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
he's definitely second in line for the kicking.
Like, dude, I know for a fact what you just said is totally not true. I think at one point we said, like, dude, I know that's wrong. What you just said, I'm telling you is wrong because I know it's wrong. Here's the link. It's coming to you right now. That's wrong. And he was really sticking to his guns on it. I was just like, okay.
That was a fucked up episode.
Hunnick Ween at Hunnick Ween on Twitter. I just remembered his fucking name because I even like that has become one of my random things to say when something's really fucked up. It's like Hunnick Ween, what the fuck, dude? Like it earworms its way into my like talking to myself randomness every once in a while. Like Hunnick Ween. I'm a Ween from the Hunnick times. Is that what it is? Like I don't know why. Sometimes these little things become triggers for me. I'm just stuck in.
He sometimes comments on my tweets on Twitter, and I just underneath it, and I follow up comment, go, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah. Oh, Deadpool. Got it. Got it. The guy who was afraid to turn his camera on. Hunnick Ween.
I still presume that's because he was on a register somewhere and
yeah,
he was in hiding.
It's a little too tropey. We can't let this fly.
That one, that's just random. Someone has sent one that just says, "Would you fuck Adam West?"
Now
I feel like this question comes up a lot. I feel like I feel like we've gotten it before.
Adam West.
Is he not dead?
I said it's always the answer is always no, but you know it's interesting that there's such obsession with that.
There a monetary incentive will be my answer.
To be fair, it is from someone called Adam West's butt plug.
Oh, so that's got to be some viral marketing then, because they want you to click yes, and then you're going to get a picture of a butt plug in the shape of Adam West. And it's the Pure West model. It's the Pure West model, and it plays that monologue he had in that episode of Simpsons where he's giving Michael Keaton shit for wearing all the augmented suit, and he goes, "That was Pure West." That's why it's the Pure West model.
Next one.
Yeah, keep that shit coming, guys.
So this guy,
no pun intended, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
jump the shit back
not
up.
really sure what the pugs are. Yeah,
I'm not above it.
This guy says,
we'll allow it.
"Loved the episode where you improvised a horror franchise, even though you didn't improvise a horror franchise." Fuck you.
Did?
You fucking did.
Pussy vagina.
And Titnado. I mean, damn.
And if you actually listen to the episode, we had some pretty cool ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want a tornado of tits? Honestly,
that was a very good poster I made for that as well. So, fuck you.
Did it make it through the Facebook censoring machine? was it allowed to be shared? Well, that's a private one that's behind the Patreon wall now.
What would be your elevator pitch if you were in an elevator with Jason Blum?
Oh, that's Liz. That's a Liz question.
Hire me, please.
Yeah. What's your no? You have 30 seconds to tell him an idea for a movie.
Yeah.
I would probably pitch the crossover to go full on with the universe and make it more than just Insidious and Sinister. I would say,
like, hey, I can make you a lot of money.
That and the fact that the idea you would have the Purge universe being influenced by shit happening in Sinister and Insidious. I mean, that's fucking like, to me, yeah, man, let's get the fucking guy who saved the day in the Purge Anarchy up against this goddamn lipstick demon. You know what I mean? Like, that could also fuel why such a thing is happening in our world.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of this, like, hellish, make a mass acceptance of everybody getting as depraved as they fucking want for 12 hours once a year to let you all build up the resentment of all the fucking anger and shit of humanity. That's coming from the same place the goddamn lipstick demon lives. You know what I mean? And the Bagul could be influencing it all. You know, there's a nice fucking spot in there. And I think also the Paranormal Activity universe is in this too. So we could have the lipstick demon being somewhat related to the Toby mythology. Again, not to be too self-referential or plugging, but I am anyway. Horrorcast on Hollow 9 Network. I think we talked about this for at least an hour. So there's a lot of theories on what Blumhouse could do.
I think I would pitch that I can write horror comedies, and if you want to expand your production company and make more money, bring it on this way. They already, I mean, Happy Death Day, like, he clearly likes Day. He wants to go there.
Yeah.
Was it good? I did not see it, but I loved the idea.
Yeah.
I love Groundhog Day of murder. I love it. I fucking with a hot chick too. Fucking
I thought it
great.
was a good idea. I just, bring me
Fucking
home.
Yeah, man.
I would just say, give me a call.
Yeah.
Love
Here, check out Tangent City. We're all in it, and that'll make you want to fucking work with us. That's the deal. That's what that's supposed to be. A tent pole for all of us to be like, see the crazy shit we do on the weekends? That's, let us get paid for that.
I can write whatever you want. Just pay me.
Fuck you, pay me. Oh, your shit burned down? Fuck you, pay me.
I do not rape kids. That's got to be a selling point in Hollywood these days.
No
isn't it?
skeletons.
Actually, nice. I don't jerk.
Minimum, and I have no skeletons.
I'm a steak and potatoes missionary man. I literally only fuck in one position and I never pull out. We have a lot of kids. A lot of kids.
I'm in massive debt.
So I really need this job. Please let me write your sick, depraved shit about Bagul and the
Your
lipstick
next
demon.
segment is the college tuition monster.
Seems like every time the nest empties out, we fill it again. I don't know. Who would have thought one position would be so dangerous?
I like these questions. I like them, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, shit, this is good. It's a lot of fun.
If you could resurrect one television show with you as the showrunner, where you can either bring back the original cast or recast, what show would it be?
Lost,
Wow.
so we could fix the ending.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I want another season to fix that show because fuck them. That show was awesome up to a point, and then they just fucking broke and could never get back on track. And fuck them. So that's why I would do Lost.
Shit. I might go Sons of Anarchy just so I could have a couple more seasons with that cast and those stories. I mean, Kurt Sutter's already doing a Mayan spinoff, but I would want to continue, I guess. I mean, it wrapped up pretty nicely. I guess I would just bring it back so I could ruin it. Somebody else would need to fix it.
I would definitely also bring back Carnival. That was probably the show that I felt as much passion about as I did with Lost before Lost started. I think they started around the same time, but that one also, especially having gotten a chance to hang out with the writer, there was an awesome ending planned for that. That show, for as people thought it was drawn out, the writing was so tight that there was going to be something really cool at the end of that. And to me, that's like a real fucking travesty that we never are going to get that unless HBO miraculously decides to do it. So that would be one. And as a showrunner, I would just bring Daniel Knopf back and let him do it.
Could I ask Aziz Ansari to redo Master of None Season 2 and make it not so pretentious?
Oh, shit.
I don't even have to be a showrunner for it. Let him redo it.
I haven't watched any of it.
The first season's good. Second season sucks balls.
Hey, man. There's always a lot of pressure for lightning to strike twice.
It was,
I thought you were going to say there's always a lot of pressure to suck balls.
Or not suck balls.
position.
Say or not suck balls. Doing everything to not have to suck a dick, especially after watching Sleepers. I'm like, whoa.
You know what? I would ensure that Larry David keeps doing Curb Your Enthusiasm seasons. That's where I would put my eggs in that basket. I could technically be a showrunner. I just want to make sure he stays on track, making Curb Your Enthusiasm seasons until he dies.
Yeah, I mean, is this going to stray into like we actually are going to now have hostage clauses where we're like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you want to retire until your brain stops functioning. We want this shit. So you better come down with Alzheimer's if you want to retire, motherfucker. Because
I guess whoever wrote the question would have the stipulations for that.
Like, are we in a Black Mirror verse where somehow the government is able to legislate shit like this? You know, it's like you can patent an intellectual property, but you have to run that shit into the ground until not even a single fan exists left. and then and only then will we allow your brain to go offline. So you have all these like writers that have been like kept alive for over 100 years, and they're all trying to die. They're writing all these stories about wanting to die. That would be fucking hilarious. That's a Black Mirror episode that's copyrighted now to Terra Firma and Haver Productions. So fuck all of you out there listening to this, jerking off about an idea you're gonna steal right now. Put your tweet down, bitches.
I would do something shite like Land of the Giants just because it's fucking stupid. Basically. With all that power, I'd bring back a shit show.
You know what? Can we amend the question to crazy movies we would adapt into a TV show? Because as soon as you said that, I thought I want to do Zardoz. I want to turn Zardoz into a TV show. The giant statue going, the penis is a weapon. Like, that's fucking... like, no one would be able to handle this. America, the world, nobody. They'd be like, whoa, what is this? That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. If you haven't seen Zardoz, that's a Sean Connery one you got to check out. Absolutely. Don't let the title throw you too much. It actually has some moments of brilliance. It's a pretty fucking crazy movie.
And you get the added benefit of knowing he probably beat his wife while on the set.
Was he married to the star of that, the female lead?
No. I think he was married to the same woman for about, 50 years?
Oh, wow.
He just pumped all the women on the side, basically.
That's kind of the deal, I guess. It's kind of part of the contract when you're made a famous person. Hey, by the way, here's a whole bunch of get out of jail free cards of being famous. You just do your thing, man. Just don't get sick. Protect your dick, dude. Protect your dick.
Fucking, this is a dick guy who's come up with this one. What A-list podcast would you like to appear on, and what A-list podcaster would you like to have on your show? These are A-list podcasters, you dick.
Yeah, douche.
Fucking A.
We've done this one before too, though. I think we get that question more often than not.
Yeah.
I don't know who wants to go first.
I mean, I've always been a huge Opie and Anthony fan, so technically, Anthony Cumia releases a best of podcast to get you hooked onto his network, his podcast network. So I'd love to be on his show and have him on mine.
I always say We Hate Movies just because it's probably my go-to podcast to listen to, which may sound weird being somebody who produces so many of them, but I fucking love their chemistry. I shamelessly admit wanting to try to find our own version of that. But I think part of probably what makes that show so awesome is the fact that these guys have known each other for so long and they have that back and forth banter that's just supernatural. So I almost feel like that's probably why I imagine they're getting constant requests. Like, I'm a podcaster, I'd love to guest on your show. It's almost like we know it won't work kind of thing. So I get it, but it's still one of those things you think about going, I would be perfect in this conversation, you fuckers. And first of all, how did you get that wrong? You motherfuckers forgot that line goes like this. God damn it. I lost respect for you for 5 seconds, but now you got me laughing again. So I'm back. That's the shit that they do. That is pretty cool. But other than that, like Bill Burr, I'd love to hang out with Bill Burr on his podcast. That's pretty cool. Or how did this get made? But I think it's the same thing with them. You can't really break into the Jason Mantzoukas, Paul Scheer, June, Diane Raphael chemistry and not be an outsider, unless you work with them. That's why all their guests are super famous people. So I guess we just got to get super famous and then we'll be cool enough.
Yeah.
I don't like A-list podcasters, they're all dickheads.
Any about pirates though? Pirate shows are pretty cool.
Well, I did have one question that I was avoiding.
Now that you mentioned pirates, let's.
You can ask DMX about booty.
There's a guy that says he liked my song that I put up.
Oh, really?
When I used the music from the
yeah.
movie. Did I ever slap that bitch that said that about me? Not physically.
Wow. Pain was felt, though, is what it sounds like. Like, not physically, but I bet he was in pain.
Talking about getting fucked.
God. Talk about getting. Hey, you know, the questions are coming from the audience randomly.
Okay, we'll do one more. That one's not the greatest I've ever fucking heard. If you were going to say something to get your show banned, but would make you instantly mega famous, what would you say? I say that every episode.
Yeah, I say no. That's not getting anybody banned. Like, banned from where though? Let's start there. Certain places a lot easier to get banned.
Kevin Spacey's a good man. That'll do it.
Saying the opposite of that almost got me banned.
Oh shit!
He's not a good man. Oh, because
talk about how quick someone's representatives can get in touch with you.
Whoa, shit! Wow. I don't know. I would probably talk about this hotel that I tried to get a free room at for being a fucking social media influencer, and they fucking made me look like a douchebag by printing my email on the fucking internet. That's what I would say to get banned, but try to get famous. Shitbags.
I mean, especially on Twitter today, if you stand up for somebody who they have inherently knocked down, you'll be destroyed, but you'll be verified.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting how quickly a conversation in one comment string will devolve into, well, shit, shots fired, man. Wow. There's an actual war happening here now. There's casualties and shit. There are family members that will never speak again now. Great. Good.
I don't think there's anything that could actually get you completely banned outright, because I was listening to a podcast where someone was talking about football, so soccer, and this guy, and I shit you not, somehow then said Hitler was very misunderstood.
Oh shit.
If you can go to there by talking about soccer, then nothing can get you fucking banned, in my opinion, from iTunes, other than the odd episode banned because someone's complained about it enough.
Right, yeah.
I got banned for just swearing in the description of the show.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's explicit.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time on YouTube.
Even though you have the explicit tag on?
Yeah, I think what my initial it changed at some point. It was like something about two guys bullshitting, and they took us down, and didn't tell me why until I finally figured it out.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like that. The sort of like, we're just going to do shit and not explain it, you know, for as much as I decry the next generation and their sort of addiction to social media and thinking that this is an illustrious career to aspire to without going to school or doing anything else. There was definitely a lot of talk about how Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of them are constantly just going, and fuck it, we're doing this differently. And like, you don't even know, there's no warning. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, how come I'm not coming up in the next on fucking column anymore?
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Now the last 30 seconds of my thing get covered up with other images of other videos they want me to watch. And I have to plan out now 30 extra seconds of black at the end of my videos to make sure that shit is in the clear. You know, like things like that really, if you're not constantly paying attention, can fuck you bad, you know. And
one of the episodes, one of the 32 or whatever it was that I got banned over my course of iTunes history so far. The title of the episode was Two Grandpas Snowballing. And because I was stupid enough to then go into descriptive on what that meant.
Yeah.
Oh, in the description?
Yeah.
That was a mistake. Yeah.
Could have left it vague, man. You got to vague book that.
Yeah, I think I also might have put a link to a porn video.
There you go. I like how you throws in at the end. Oh, you know, I probably also did. That's during the phase where I had multiple personalities, and one of them was a psycho. You did a lot of weird shit that I found out about
we were
later.
playing chicken with YouTube or iTunes. They won. They called the bluff.
They do ban you for some weird shit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess when we get there, Hollow and Nine, we'll let everybody know. Not that I'm trying to, not that that's anything we're aspiring to at this point, but you never know. It could be a badge of honor for all we know going forward.
Yeah,
The,
I'm too successful. I want to get banned. Yeah,
the post-truth world only counts how many times you've been banned from public utilities now. Okay,
You could do like, what's that fucking mental guy in America that does? Is it Infowars?
Alex Jones.
You could do like the opposite side, the political spectrum version of him, and see if that gets you banned.
So what would that be? It wouldn't be lizard people and Illuminati. What the hell would be the
it
opposite?
would just be like the government's telling the truth all the time.
Like an ultra like throwback to the 50s America, like, you know, a chicken in every pot, a car in every garage, a beaten wife in every home, and a father out drinking and fucking his secretary during the day. All the Mad Men, basically. We're talking about Mad Men. All right, gotcha.
Or
So
just
it's already been done.
you just tell the actual facts with no spin.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No conspiracy theories.
This is what happened. There's documents.
I tried to get David Icke on, but I said to him, I want to get you on the show. The reason I want to get you on the show is so we can have a debate on why you believe in all this bullshit. And I think that might have been the wrong tone to take in the email.
Especially did you use the word bullshit?
Yeah, repeatedly.
Yeah, there you go.
And I also asked how a shit footballer then became one of the world's most famous conspiracy nuts.
Wow.
But to me, that's the debate. He should come on shows like that because then, you know, he seems fairly intelligent. He should be able to get his point across.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Like, if he makes you look like an idiot, then he can post that and be like, don't come at me with these interviews anymore. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing as the guy who goes around to all the astronauts and says, here, I just want you to swear on this Bible right here that you went to the moon, and then I'll walk away. We're done. And they lose their shit and try to run away. I think Neil Armstrong punched the fucking guy. It's like
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin punched the guy. I don't even know this fucking guy's name.
Buzz Aldrin punches everybody who pisses him off. So,
but that's the kind of thing. It's like, you know, you want to say that there's nothing to this, but then like something that should be very easy for you to do, and you create the sensationalism around it by acting this way. Right. It's like it more behooves you to take the opportunity to be straight with somebody who's trying to literally just pass it instantly on. Like, hey, from your mouth to me, and here it goes to you. Live streamed right fucking now.
So as the rest of the questions are shite, we'll end it there. What have you guys got coming up?
Just more episodes, more of the same hilarity you've come to expect from us at the Ranting and Raving podcast.
It's interesting how we're finding ways to say, more of the same. It's like, but that's what you should be looking forward to. I'm looking forward to still working with these guys on all the awesome collaborative projects, including this show, Terra Firma, and I think we're going to be doing a State of the Union show soon, Drew, that I'm honored to be invited to. And, you know, Tangent City's on break right now, but the fact that they're downloadable, I suggest everyone going out and binging and catching up on all the fucking awesome work these two guys have done on that show. And it's a little bit of a different experience when you listen to them all together, which is kind of cool. I'm glad that it's working out that way. So that's my big one, pushing that at all times. And of course, you know, the ones that are hot in it right now, Winona Earp, we have a big girl power wave hitting the world. So, you know, trying to help where we can, I guess, with that traction. And that shit. Check out hollow9.com. We got a lot of stuff going on there.
Binge listen, Tangent City.
Yeah. Take your commute like 5 times in a row on purpose. Just back and forth until it's done. I'm
going to try and get the word cunt waffle into the State of the Union episode and see if anyone notices. So, what's the next for that?
As an Easter egg.
Could we get that trending?
It's like, what kind of waffles were you having? Cunt waffles. They were great. They were so good. Literally.
Posed on the screen during the entirety of the record.
That's the Lord Ford.
I think we found the episode title.
I said now that everybody knows to look out for that. Hopefully the other co-hosts haven't been watching the stream tonight.
Yeah.
I just presume they haven't, because why would they?
Nothing like doing research.
Well, it's been awesome as always to have you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man. This is always a blast.
And for anyone that actually watched this, fuck off.